This is my audience, my best friend Kennedy, and then my brother JD. My name is Trinity Hernandez, and today I'm going to be explaining why vaping should be banned. According to an article titled Know the Risks, in 2018, 1 in 5 high school students reported using e-cigarettes in the past month. Being a teenager myself in this day and age, I know how popular vaping is, and I know how much of a problem it is with my generation. I also personally know a lot of people who do vape. Many people know how common vaping is, but they aren't aware of all of the harmful effects that are caused by vaping. I believe that vaping should be banned because it's a huge problem and it's very dangerous for teenagers. I'm going to be covering 3 main points today in my speech. The first one is the underage abuse of nicotine. The second one is how vaping brands market in a way that targets teens. And the third one are the horrible health complications that are due to vaping. Let me first tell you about the underage abuse of nicotine. Although the legal age to vape is 21, there is a large portion of teenagers who still vape nicotine. There are ages as young as middle school students that smoke e-cigarettes. According to an article by Brian King, in 2019, more than 5.2 million young people in the United States reported current use, including 27.5% of high school students and 10.5% of middle school students. Not only is this illegal for underage people, but it's also very dangerous. It can lead to many long-term health defects, and it's very harmful to teenagers' non-developed lungs. Now that I've talked about the proportion of teenagers who are vaping, let's move on to the way that vaping brands market to target these teenagers. There are several different ways in which tobacco companies make vaping look appealing to teens. These companies promote their products on platforms that young people use, such as various forms of social media. Nina Demery reported tobacco companies' use of partying, smoking, and vaping posts and hashtags to advertise products on social media. Also on social media, companies such as Juul use cartoons and teenage slang in their posts. Not only do they promote on social media, but they also have many fruity and sweet flavors that appeal to teenagers. Flavors such as mint, candy, and other fruit-based flavors are the most popular among teens. Now I'm going to be showing you a short video that shows how these tobacco companies market targeting teens.
The largest e-cigarette company has caused this addiction. In fact, they hold 70% of the market.
The intent was to give an entire generation hooked for money, which I don't think that's morally right. To having kids smoke a product that has a negative effect on the brain is terrible, and they should be held accountable for it.
Juul has stopped selling one of their popular flavors and has suspended advertising in the U.S.
If I could go back to when I was 18 to when I first started juuling, I would definitely not do it if I knew all the consequences it would have on me right now today. I was definitely more vulnerable, I was gullible, I gave in to peer pressure and to the fact that Juul advertised to make you want to do it, to be a follower. They advertised with celebrities and people that you would want to be like just so you could start vaping. And that's not right. And I think if I would have seen that back then I wouldn't have given into it. It's the exact same side effects that you get if you're addicted to cigarettes. And that's just because one Juul pod is equivalent to an entire pack of cigarettes, the amount of nicotine in it. And that's just, I don't think a lot of kids know that. And I think if a lot of kids actually knew what was in these products, that they would start to lay off.
So I have just discussed how vape brands market to teens. Now I will inform you on the long-term health effects on e-cigarette smokers. There are many negative health effects caused by smoking nicotine. According to the article titled, "What are the long-term effects of vaping?" Nicotine can harm brain development, alter nerve cell functioning, increase the risk of young people smoking cigarettes, and change brain chemistry in ways that make adolescent brains more susceptible to other addictive drugs. There has also been a link to the rise in seizures with the rise of vaping use, and vaping can cause serious respiratory harm and diseases such as cancer. In conclusion, let's review what I have covered in my speech today. First, I told you about the underage abuse of nicotine. Next, I discussed the several different ways in which tobacco companies make vaping look appealing to teens. Lastly, I talked about the many negative health effects caused by smoking nicotine. After explaining all of this information, I hope that I changed your perspective on vaping and helped you realize how big of a problem it is. Thank you.